Hello, welcome back to Cracking the Cryptic, and I look at this puzzle on the screen with a vast amount of trepidation because although Sayori has written to us to tell us that this is her easiest puzzle by some measure, that bar is a high bar and anything could slip under it. Sayori sets very difficult puzzles normally, and I think we've done 2 or 3 of them on the channel before. Absolutely sure that at least one Sayori puzzle has not made it to the channel, owing to one of us not making it to the finish line as well. Could have been me. So I'm very nervous about this, but I'm looking forward to giving it a go. The measure I think that Sayori said proved that it was quite easy, or her easiest, was that it had the most solves on Logic Masters Germany. I guess we may see at the end of the puzzle how many solves that is at the moment. I don't know. Anyway, looking forward to giving it a go because there's always going to be something interesting in this sort of puzzle if I can get it done. Now, firstly, don't forget our apps, which are all available on the links under the video, and of course the Sudoku Hunt, Lines and Shapes, the September Sudoku Hunt entries possible from the 1st to the 20th, but there for ages, and give it a go. It is a fascinating treat in my opinion. And some of the puzzles are quite difficult, maybe a bit like this, but we'll see. A bit like I expect this to be, maybe this isn't, we'll see. But there's all sorts of things on the links under the video. You can find your way to the Discord server, to Sven's SUDOKU PAD, our merchandise, as well as the apps and Patreon. But this puzzle is the first link, 789 by Sayori. And the rules are as follows. Normal Sudoku rules apply. We're going to put 1 to 9, if we can, in every row, column and 3x3 box. Digits can't repeat in a cage, and cages show their sums. Now, in a couple of cases, the sums are actually hidden by quadruple circles. So I've written the sums into another cell in the cage. So this cage adds up to 13, as does this, and this one 22. Oh, and this one is less than 12, which is, I want to say, less than entirely helpful. A number in a circle indicates a digit that must appear in at least one of the 4 surrounding cells. So at least one of these is a 2, and at least one of these is a 7, one is an 8, and one is a 9. Digits cannot repeat along a marked diagonal. We have 2 of those in the puzzle, such as that one. That must be a set of the digits 1 to 9 as well. Do give it a try. Test yourself. That's what I'm going to do. Let's get cracking. So, these cages are, they're in the almost helpful bracket, some of them. Well, no, 2 of them. There are 2 possible fills for a 22 cage, 985 and 976. But the others have multiple possible fills. What on earth do we do? There's these 789 sets. But, I mean, if that was 5 or 6, this would have to be a group of 789. But we don't know that that's 5 or 6. 5 or 6 can go in a 13 cage. 4 can't go in the 22 cage. So 4's in one of those cells. I mean, I could pencil mark a 1 in one of those because 1 can't go in the 13 cage. Similarly, 2 can't go in the 22 cage. But these sorts of sets of 3 cells, they're not particularly powerful for pencil marking. We've got, I mean, I'm not even going to do that yet. We've got 6 in 2 quadruples in these columns. So that must use up the 2 6s for columns 3 and 4. And that means none of these cells can contain a 6. But again, it's hardly worth pencil marking. It's got to be something to do with the diagonals. This could be one of the shortest attempted videos ever. I don't know what is going on here. 4. What about these diagonals and the 7, 8, 9? I mean, it's possible for that to be a 7, 8, 9 set. But, or is it alternatively that these L shapes are all 7, 8, 9 sets and they're therefore kept off the diagonal in those? No, that wouldn't work because you'd never get 7, 8 or 9 on the diagonal. Oh, I see. I see something now. I see something. Oh, hats off if you got this immediately. That's weird. Okay, I shouldn't be looking at those 3 cells in a sense, although I should. What I should be looking at is these 6 cells. And this is weird, but the exciting thing about those 6 cells, if you can call it exciting, is that they do not have the numbers 7, 8, 9, because what these quadruple clues do is, well, they do when they're confined within a box, so even that does it. This one keeps 1 out of these cells. Now that's not particularly interesting in the case of 1, but 7, 8 and 9 are kept out of all of these cells in these 3 boxes. And the point about that is that they include these 6 cells that do not have 7, 8 or 9 in, but this diagonal must have all of the digits. No repeats. So those that I've got highlighted contain 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And therefore these are a set of 7, 8, 9. And, yes. This is a lovely thing about diagonal Sudokus, that I probably did about 30, maybe 50 diagonal Sudokus before I found this fact. That the exciting fact is that those 4 cells, let's just make them yellow, they all have to be different in a diagonal Sudoku. And it's because they all see each other. This one sees that one horizontally, that one vertically, and that one on the diagonal. And that works obviously in a symmetrical way for all of those. And in a very similar fashion, and this is where it matters here, these see each other, and indeed the corners of the grid are exactly the same again. So what I'm interested in at the moment is the purple cells. They all see each other. They all have to be different. Not only that, they're different from the central cell, because that sees them all as well. So this is a set of 5 different digits, and that is absolutely fascinating because of the 22 cages. 22 cages, I told you what they are made up of. They're either 5, 8, 9 or 6, 7, 9. So the digits available to use are 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We noticed earlier the 4 here couldn't go in there because the other 2 cells would both be 9s. Now, we've got 7, 8, 9 in the purple already. These other 2 purple cells must not be 7, 8 or 9 because they see that full set. So they are a 5, 6 pair and they're different. So now these, I don't know how to reduce the digit set, but one of these cages is a 9, 8, 5 cage and one of them is a 9, 7, 6 cage. And one of these is the loaded, I tell you how I reduce these. I take 5 and 6 out of them because they've had the low digit already, the low of the 5. That is fascinating. That is a really interesting start. I hesitate to call it a break-in because I suspect we still have a lot to do. Something I did notice about 4 being in one of those cells, by the way, is that there are a couple of cells in the puzzle that now can't have a 4 in. Let's just colour those orange. 4 is in one of those orange cells. Now these 2 cells see all of those by Sudoku rules, so they can't have a 4 in. I don't know if that's going to matter, but I bring it to your attention in case it does and it gives you a chance to see something later or soon. Like similarly, 2 is in one of those cells, so those 2 can't be 2. It would be ironic if I'm literally telling you the next step and I can't see it myself, but I doubt it. Ah, yes, here's the next step. 5 and 6 are on this diagonal now. Look at this quadruple clue. That needs a 5 and 6 in this group of cells, but they can't reappear on the diagonal. So they are here and here, and they are in 13 cages and are therefore complemented by 7 and 8. What's more, those are different versions of 5 and 6. That is beautiful. Because this quadruple clue requires each of 5 and 6 to appear in this group. Those are different versions, so neither can appear here. And therefore this is, one of these is a 5 and one of them is a 6. Therefore one of them goes with a 7 and one goes with an 8. This is a 7-8 pair. They can't be the same, and they're both looking at this cell. So that is a 9 in the center of the grid. Isn't that incredible? Yeah, this is Sayori's easiest puzzle. That is a measure of what's going on in her mind. Wow. I love that. That is so elegant. Right. But what the heck do we do next? Now, there is another 6 up here, and one of those here, as I observed earlier. It's not that useful. Is it something to do with where these 7... See, let's colour these 7 and 8s different colours. Let's make the 5 and 6, let's get rid of the colour on the 9. Let's make the 5 and 6 different colours as well. Okay, here's 4 colours. Doesn't really work. What I want to do is kind of match up the colours. But the trouble is I don't know which of these 5 or 6 is orange and which is purple. But they will go with a specific 7 or 8, if I could work that out. Oh, hang on, 9, and there, look, here's something. 9 is in one of these cells, and it's definitely in one of those, in the 22 cage. That's an X-wing on 9s. That's going to use up the 2 9s in columns 1 and 2. The 9 in column 3 is in this box, and it's got to be there. Aha! So there's a 1 in one of those 2 cells. Now I've got another 9 X-wing between that 2x2 and this cage. So that's using up the 9s in column 7 and 8. There's got to be a 9 in one of these cells. We know exactly where it is. It's there. So now we've got 7. I don't know. The other of... Well, there is an X-wing between whichever of 7 or 8 is in this cage and this 2x2, which must have that same flavour of 7 or 8 in it. So that is going to be here. So that's interesting. Whichever 7 or 8 is in this cage is here. Now that doesn't necessarily make it this one. Okay. I am uncolouring those, and I'm going to colour, let's say blue here. Let's use a different colour. Blue is the 7 or 8 in one of these cells, and that is also in that group. There's a blue there somewhere, and that now is blue. Now blue is going to go, well, I see I'm going to uncolour orange and purple as well. Let's say blue goes with orange to make 13. Then these are the other flavour, so we'll make that purple and this green. And these are the other flavours of 5, 6 and 7, 8. And does that colouring get anything done? It almost certainly doesn't. Are there any other X-wings we can pull off between these crazy areas? Well, yes, but the trouble is I don't know what colour it is. No, I do. It's the non-blue 7 or 8 is in this cage because, oh yes, blue goes with orange, so that is orange. That's it. This is green, and green goes with purple. I mean, you can look at these 22 cages as 9 plus one of these 13 cages. So there's a purple up here. And purple is also there, so now purple must be in one of those two cells. The 7 or 8 that is purple. Maybe it would help if I coloured 9, let's make it yellow, and maybe it won't help, but it helps me see where the 9s are going. Now there is a 9 in one of these 3 cells. There is a 9 in one of these 3. Where are my remaining 9s going? I mean, the trouble with these clues, this 3-4 clue and this less than 12 clue is that's exactly the way these are trending. These desperately want to be low digits, and so do those, so they don't really help at all. Now, I can't colour these 7s and 8s, I don't think. I've tried starting with them. Again, 7 and 8 are in this group of cells. So these include blue and green, but in what order? And well, that one can't be green, obviously, and that one can't be blue. So blue's in one. Okay, that's interesting. Blue's in one of those two. One of these 3 is blue. Green is in one of those 2 and there. One of these 2. No, hang on. I've got the colouring wrong up here, haven't I? Oh, bother. I started here. Purple is the 5 or 6. I'm sorry, I've got this the wrong way around. Green is the 7 or 8. The 7 or 8 appears here. These are green, not purple. Right, sorry. But 7 and 8s are green and blue. And the green one is here and in one of these. And the blue is in one of these. What does that do? I'm not sure. 9. This 10. This would look useless if it wasn't for this incredible fact. That 10 cage sees both of those 5, 6 colours. So it can't have either of them in it. It can't have a 6 in it. That's all that matters to me. It can't be a 6-4 pair. It is a 1-2, a 1-9, a 2-3, a 2-8 or a 3-7 pair. The exciting thing about that is it has the third of 7, 8, 9 in this row. And now that can't be from 7, 8, 9 because all 3 are done in this row. So that is not 7, 8, 9. 7, 8, 9 are this group. So one of these is a 9, a yellow 9. The other one, wow, do I know the colour? No, I don't. But it is 7 or 8. And that has a colour. And the trouble is 9 could be in that pair. I'd much rather that was 9, because then I'd know the colour of this. Well, I suppose it doesn't matter. Well, if that was 9, this has the blue 7 or 8 in it, and that is the green 7 or 8. But if the 9 is in here, and that's the problem, oh, that can't be 9. If the 9 is here, oh, then this is blue. Is this always green? Have I figured that out? I don't know. Yes, it is. Because of the 7, 8, 9, that can't be green because it's in the blue cage. That can't be green because it's in a box with green. That must be green. Now, this can't be green. That must be yellow. Must be 9. That's weird. What is going on here? That is the green 7 or 8, and that is not. I mean, that's remarkable. Now, this is on the diagonal with the green, so that's blue. And this can't be blue, so that's yellow, so that's 9. And that one's blue. This is blue 7 or 8, green 7 or 8. Looking at this, this is the 9-1 cage. I can write them in. I've got a digit in the puzzle that is not a 9. We've got another 9 in one of those 2 cells. That is not a 9 anymore, so it is not potentially yellow. There is yellow in one of those 2, that's right. There is a orange 5 or 6 somewhere up here as well. I don't know a lot more about orange. Ah, no I don't. I thought, can I find, well that can't be 5 or 6 because it sees orange and purple just like those did. So it also can't be 7, 8 or 9. That is 2, 3 or 4. Now it wants to be 3 or 4. Oh, I should have written 9 as a candidate in there since, in fact, we know where it is now. It's there. Don't be a candidate, be a digit. This one is not green, it is blue. It is also not 9. So that's all of those sorts of, so this isn't blue actually, that's all of those sorts of cells coloured as far as I can, I think. Or probably not, but what do I do next? This is such a strange puzzle. We've done the 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Well, still very much to be resolved. Oh, blue. Look, blue, blue. We need another blue. There it is in row 7. Oh, so there's Sudoku to be done on the colours, maybe. Oh, weird. Or is there not anymore? Well, let's think about the diagonals, because this diagonal is going to need a blue. It could be there. It can't be here because there's blue here. But I suppose it could be in either of those. In fact, it seems likely. It's got to be in one of the corners of this box. How about this diagonal? Is there any? We've got green, yellow and blue on it. Purple. It's not really ruled out. Well, it's ruled out of those 2 cells. Orange out of those. That's not very helpful. Oh, we got a 1 in one of those cells. We know that those don't have a 4 in, so one of these is a 4. Purple. Where's purple in this box? Purple's not there. So it's in one of those. Orange is not up here, so it's in one of these 3. And then it's in one of these 3. That doesn't feel very helpful. I may be just sticking colours all over the grid that aren't even going to help now. Orange in the central box can't be there by Sudoku or there by diagonal. What about the 15 cage? That doesn't look very helpful, but you never know. I don't know what to do next at all. This 1 didn't do anything. This has probably got a 1 in it. Has it? I don't know. Do not know what's going on. Oh, well, okay. 5 or 6 in this row. We've got purple there and orange on that side. So these are from 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, green. Green is in one of these 3 cells, and green's quite big. If it gets into the less than 12 cage, it's doing something. But I think it could be in the corner at the moment. Oh, come on, think of something useful, Mark. Oh, green is around here somewhere. Yes, right. There's an X-wing, and I hadn't seen it. Yes, green is in one of those two cells, in fact. It's got to be in that 2x2. We've got that green. It's in one of those two. Sorry, if you've been shouting that screen, hats off to you. Well done. I didn't see it. That goes green. One of these is green, and one of these is green because we've got yellow, blue, and orange there. So one of those is green. Neither of these are green. Green is in the less than 12 cage. It's right here. This one now sees both 5 and 6. I thought it saw both of the 7, 8 colours. It does. So that is 2, 3, or 4 as well. This one surely can't be the purple. Green and purple, no, the minimum, well, they add up to 13 specifically, so it's not purple. Purple is here. No, purple can't be there. What is going on here? Why did I say that was 2, 3, or 4? Because I thought it saw, I said it sees blue and green. That's not relevant. Right, the simple question now is, where is purple in this cage? It's not on that diagonal. So it's not there. It can't be here because then purple and green would add up to 13. Purple is here. And that feels interesting. These are from 2, 3, 4. These are from 1, 2, 3, 4, which are a set here. And this one, where does that appear in this box? It's in one of those two. Oh, there's not a 1, because there's a 1 in one of those cells. That is 2, 3, or 4, and appears here. I'm giving it another colour. It's red, clearly. And red appears up here with orange. I'm probably going to start colouring all of the digits in this puzzle entirely now, which is a bit scary. These are from 1, 2, 3, 4, because they've seen all the big ones. They form a set with that one. Now, what about the diagonal? Has anything happened with the diagonal? Yes. Green is off the diagonal in this box, and it's off it in this box. So it has to be on it in this box, and it's not there. It is here. That is not green, and blue is definitely here. And that is a 7, 8 pair placed in the central box. Well, placed in as much as I know their colours. Blue is now here or here in box 2, not yellow, blue. There we go. Now, blue on the diagonal. It's missed it in this box. It's missed it in this box. It's got to hit the diagonal in this box, but I don't know which one. Red is 2, 3, or 4. There's a 1 here. I don't know. What about green and... Well, green and... No, yellow is the 9, isn't it? That's in one of these two. Oh, we've got a 9 here. So one of these two is yellow as well. I knew that. We've got an X-wing on 9s there. 9 is all sorted for the diagonals, of course, because it appeared here. Now, think about the diagonals again. Orange and purple are on this one, but they need to get on the other one. In fact, that is purple. That's just Sudoku. There it is on the diagonal. What about orange on this diagonal? Could be there, could be there, could be there. That's too many possibilities. Purple is there and there. One of these is purple. Purple is 5 or 6. Now, what about this 15 cage? Don't know. It could even have blue and purple if they were 7 and 5, and they could be. They don't add up to 13 together, so that's possible. 6. 6 around here. 6 is in one of those two cells. Oh, and of course, these can't both be 6 because they would kill 6 up here. In fact, 6 is now looking at that cell. Purple is 5. Hurrah! We've got one of the colours. 5 goes with an 8 in a 13 cage. Green has become 8. That's a 5. Blue is therefore 7. Oh, I feel like this is actually happening now. 7 there. That orange is a 6 to make up the other 13 cage. Right. Now the trouble is, I'm talking as though that really gets us somewhere, but there aren't that many numerical clues to actually help use. Now 1 has to be in one of those cells, so it's not in those two, and we've got a 1 in the corner here. These are from 2, 3, 4 and orange 6. Maybe I'm not going to end up colouring 2, 3 and 4. Don't know. 1, 6, 8, 9, 5. That is 2, 3 or 4 because it can't be 7. But there is a 7 up here somewhere. One of those is a 1. There's a 6 here. So 6 is in one of those two cells. Is 6 coloured? It's orange, isn't it? Sorry, one of those two cells. So that's not orange. Why did I not colour 6 at the top of the grid? Orange is one of those two. So these are orange, blue and yellow. They are 6, 7 and 9. How am I not seeing that when I fill in the colours? I don't know. Why couldn't this be orange? Because of the clue. So that's 7 or 9. Crikey. So that is a set. 8, 5. Everything else in the column is 1, 2, 3 or 4. And 1 must be in one of those two cells. And that is an X-wing with 1 in one of those two cells. So then 1 has to be in one of these. In row 6. Oh, still haven't got anything done about 4 here. 9, 8. 8 is in one of these two. That's no use. I really thought 7s, 8s and 9s would be the first to get resolved, and they're not. I'm probably just missing stuff now though. That's fine, because I feel like I'll eventually find it. Those are from 1, 2, 3, 4. 6 is in one of these cells. Don't really have much more information on where, I don't think. I've still got some, oh, this needs 3 and 4 around it. That's huge. Yes, I've still got some quadruple clues to use up. Was exactly what I was about to say. So that's a 1, 2 pair. That can't be 2. We've got 3, 4, 5 and 6, which is orange, and is in one of those two cells to place. That can't be 6. So orange is in one of those two. I'm going to colour. I'm warning you, I'm going to be colouring. Now, can 6 be here? I have a feeling this is going to become a 6, 5, 4 cage, potentially. But I don't know. I don't know. 2 is in one of those and can't be there. Oh, this is a 2, 6 pair because of the box. And this is not a 2, and that was obvious because I coloured it red and made it 3 or 4 there. Oh, well, it can't add up to 12 either. It's the rule in the cage. So that's a 3. Red is a 3. Do I know what red is anywhere else? No. Red is a 3 here. This is a 1, 3, 6 set. And this is now a 2, 4 pair. The diagonal, that can't be a 5. We've got 5, 8, 9 and 7 on the diagonal. 6 is now in one of those two cells. And therefore 6 can't be here because they both see that cell. So I'm going to fill in a 6 candidate marking up in the box. 3 there. 3 and 4 can't be here. These are from 1, 2 and 5 because of this pair. In fact, those can't be 3 or 4. They are a 5, 6 pair. What colour are they? Orange and purple. Oh, it's weird to have purple suddenly reappear. Now, if purple's in one of those cells, then that's a 5, or rather that's orange, sorry. Yes, if purple's in one of those cells, that's orange and there's a 4 in there, which I think is what's going to happen. But if purple is there instead, then this isn't the 5-6 pair necessarily in the cage. That's not really buttering any parsnips, is it? 8 green, no. 3, 6, 9, 7. That digit is in one of those 3. That's not very interesting. Where's 5 in box 1? It's not on the diagonal and it's not there, so it's in one of these cells. Oh, that's not 5. Because of this, that is 1 or 2. I must have only been looking at the column when I dubbed it as potentially 5. 9, 8, 5. What about? We've just got 2, 3, 4, and 7 to place. So one of these, we knew that. One of those is a 7. One of these is a 7. One of those is a 7. Those are the remaining 7s. Now, one of these is a 1. It's going to be these quadruple clues that I'm just forgetting to fulfill. One of these is a 4. That just doesn't seem very helpful. But I've got almost enough. Oh, we got 3 as red. That's a 4. I haven't given it a colour. I don't think it does anything. Well, 3 and 4 are both in those cells. In fact, I'm going to take red out because I don't see what use red is at the moment. Oh, I've got to work on this 15 cage somehow. Now, maybe I can rule 7 out of it. If 7 was in it, that would be 2 or 3. I can't see a reason that's not the case, annoyingly. These are from 2, 3, 4, 5. And that one can't be 3. Just in this row, that must be the case, because we've got a 1 pair here. 8's in one of those cells. I don't know about 8 in box 4. Oh. 7, 8, 5. Maybe there's a count of high digits in the top 3 rows that I should be doing. I don't know how it would work. I'm not comfortable with that either. I feel there's probably not a 2 in those cells because of uniqueness, although that could get resolved by the diagonal. So not only would I not use it, I can't use it. Oh my goodness, it's broken so much in this puzzle open and still can't get home. Ah, it's just vicious. That 2, 4 pair. I'm missing some. No, I'm probably missing a diagonal thing now. Probably the negative diagonal. 7, 9, 8, and 5. I'm going to put 6 in one of those 2. Everything else is 1, 2, 3, or 4. Okay, let's come back to the 15 cage then, which doesn't have 9 or 8 in it. So what are its possible fills? That's a perfectly valid question. 6, 5, 4. Otherwise, it has got a 7 in it. So if it's, okay, it could be 4, 5, 6. With 5 or 6 there, purple would be the other of 4, 5, 6, and there'd be a 4 hit. Now, alternatively, it's definitely got a 7 in it. And that would have to be in one of these cells. It would have to be here specifically because 7 is blue. With either, did I say a 2 or a 3? Yes, in one of those. So what has that done? Absolutely nothing. If there was a 4 in this, that would be a 2. Well, if there's a 4 in this, there's no 7, and that's the 7 in column 7. Then you get 7 here. Maybe I know more about 1 and 3 than I've realised in this area. Honestly don't know. The 5-6 pair that I uncovered here, that seemed quite exciting at the time. Maybe it's the 3-4 pair, because one of those is on one diagonal and the other is on the other. Or maybe that has to be a 4. I don't know. If there wasn't a 4 in this box, would that mean one of these was a 4? I don't think it would necessarily. I hope you're spotting what to do next, because it always pleases me when you're smarter than I am. Probably quite a lot of the time. Maybe it's this sort of diagonal stuff again though. 6 has to be in one of those. If that was a 6, it's quite powerful, because no, maybe it's more powerful if that's 1, 2, 3 or 4, because it would have to be this. If the 4, 1, 2, 3, 4 digits are there, this one is in the corner. So this can't be 1 or 3 in the corner. It can also not be 7, 9, 8 or 5. It is even. It is 2, 4 or 6. And if it's 2 or 4, it's that digit. What does that mean? If it's 6, then 6 is here, in one of those, in one of those, and in one of those. 6, I was going to say 6 can't be in one of these, but that's not true. It absolutely can. It's all about whether purple can be in here, isn't it? Probably is. Purple is 5. Come on. If 5 is in there, that's a 6, and so is 4 in here. 5, 4. That becomes a 2. If 4 is in there, 4's there, 4 has to be here. What does that do? I don't know. Doesn't even constrict 4 off the negative diagonal as far as I can see. Okay, could those avoid having a 4 on? They would have to be 2 and 3. I just don't feel like I've got enough restrictions in the puzzle. I hope I haven't missed a clue. That would be awful. But I mean, we've got so far and it's so clever. I really do want to persevere away. This 6, 7, 9 triple feels weird. 1, 2 pair. But then I've got all of these pairs in the central box. That 5, 6. So this didn't have to have a 5, 6 pair, a 5 or 6 in it. It could be 7 with 2 or 3. Now, if it's 7, 2, that's a 4, that's a 3. Then that's a 4, and that's a 2, and that's a 7. But that's kind of to be expected at that point. I don't know what's happening. 8 in one of those, 6 somewhere here. Just 6s. Am I missing something with 6s? There's a lot of unknown 6s around this puzzle. It just doesn't say they have to be around this group. I feel like it could be 6 in there. We knew that wasn't a 6. We've worked that out. So maybe we then think about 6 in the column, which has to be in one of those positions. Now, that either puts it in this cage with a 4 or on this diagonal. Now, which one do I want to force to happen? I don't know that I have a preference. I'm just seeing that if 6 is on the diagonal and 6 is in a pair there, which forces the 6 in the top row to be here, which makes this a 7 and makes 7 on the diagonal there. Oh no, but that makes this a 7. Yes, so I started with 6 in the diagonal. Unsurprisingly, that means I do have a 7 in this box, this cage, which is either 4, 5, 6 or 7, 5 or 6, 2 or 3. I don't know which it is. 1, 9, 8, 7. 7, 8, 9, 5. So everything up here is 1, 2, 3, 4 or 6. I mean, do I go mad and pencil mark it now? Probably do. I don't know. I can't bear to do that quite yet. Still got time within the hour to, I don't want to say while away, but to make good deductions rather than just pencil marking everything to death. 7 is in one of those two spots. So 7 is either, because of the pass through here, 7 is either there and there, or there and there. I don't know, is it some way? So if that is 7, you get a 6 here, then that has to be 6 on the diagonal. And that also, if that's 7, that's 7, that's 7. So if this is 7, you do get a 6 here and a 6 on the diagonal. So I think we'd worked that out before though. If that is 7, that's a 6. And this is 2 or 3. Well, that's quite interesting. Then you've got a 7, a 6, and a 2, 3, 4 triple. Then you have to have 1 here and 5 here. That is pretty dictatorial. So if that is a 7, that's a 6. You end up with a 1 there and a 5 there. Let's just remove the 1 things at the moment. Now, what does that do? Now, the alternative is that this includes a 4 and either 5 or 6. And if I treat it as an alternative to 6 being there, then 6, I think, has to be here in this. This has to be a 6-4 pair. So then 6 does end up on the diagonal, definitely there and there. And in one of those, in one of those, in one of those. It's obviously in one of those. It doesn't do it. I can't even decide what I think is likely here and try and work on the other, because they all seem so fluid and possible. The frustration of this puzzle. Classic Sayori, if I may say so. Right, what did I work out? These can't be 4. That can't be a 2. These were because of the where 2 is positioned kind of things. 1 and 3 have to be in that group. Along with 2 or 4. Maybe I do need to colour 1s, 2s, 3s and 4s more. Maybe I need to uncolour everything else. Let's do it. Let's do it. Let's get rid of all the other colouring. Gonna do it. Gonna go crazy. Blue, orange, and yellow. And, oh, by the way, I'm just going to remind myself that 7 is in one of these two positions with a corner marked 7 before I do this. Now, let's colour 1, 2, 3, and 4 instead. Let's make 1 red, 2 blue. Have I got any 2s? No, I've got some 3s. Make them green, yellow for 4. So we'll call blue 2. That's a blue-yellow pair. That is a blue-yellow pair. Blue is in one of these cells. Now, what else is going on? Red is in one of those two. These are, they include red and green and either blue or yellow. 3 and 4 are green and yellow and are in these cells in some order. Red and blue are in those two. Only one of them got on the diagonal. Right, sorry about that. Now, where were we? 8. I don't know where we were. I was starting to colour 1s, 2s, 3s and 4s. One of those is red. How about that? Neither of them are green or yellow, yeah, but they don't have to be blue, do they? Because this could be blue in the column. Green and yellow are definitely up there. Red has to be in one of these cells. Oh, I did these corner marks for one of the possible ways that this stuff fits together, which was dangerous. I did work out that this cell couldn't be something 6. It can't be 7 either, because 7 has to be on the diagonal. So again, that is 1, 2, 3 or 4, which is my kind of group of colouring things. I don't know what's going on. Blue, whatever that is in one of those and is up here along with red and green. I'm going to put all the colours in that place. Oh dear, this is too multicoloured to be any use, isn't it? Green has to be in one of those 3. Okay, what about this diagonal? We've got 3 of them done, and the 4th is either here or here. I don't know, say that was red, then blue has to be on a diagonal here. Then blue would have to be in one of these cells. I don't think that's proving anything. Red is up here somewhere along with green. Again, not doing a lot. It's all about 6. I mean, where is 6 going? It's all about 6 and this cage, which is either 6, 5, 4 or 7, 5 or 6, something big. I just don't know which. There must be a way I'm meant to be able to tell. Is there something have I missed a cage or something like I did earlier? I think apart from this cage, all the cages are done. I think I've studied usefully all the clues, all the quadruple clues. I'm sort of aware that I haven't finished off this 4 and 2, but I've done the rest. Yeah, I'm just checking them through again. I have. Now, if this was 2, this has to be 2 on the quadruple clue. So what happens then? Then that's a 2. That one on the quadruple clue is on the diagonal, so that would be a 2. See, that does have ramifications, because once that's a 2, 4 forces this to be a 3 on the diagonal. This is interesting. This might be worth pursuing. We know we've got a 2 in one of those positions. Now we've got a 2 in one of those positions. This is all starting with a 2 on the bottom row. The 2 can't be there because we got this 2. There must also be a 2 here. We need a 2 on the long diagonal. It's got to be here. There's a 2 in one of those cells and a 2 in one of those. And I don't know, that's not actually any use. But it also went along with a 4 in one of these 2 and therefore not here. So that would make this a 4. And that's not possible. That's really, really convoluted, but it's interesting. So it comes down to this. If that's a 2, if that's a 2, what happened? Then that's a 2 on the diagonal. Well, on the quadruple, but it's also on the diagonal, so that's a 2. Yeah, this doesn't work. This is brilliant, actually. This is right. If that's a 2, that's a 2. On the diagonal, stops this being a 2, so that's a 2. Now 4 around this quadruple stops that being a 4, and you've suddenly got 2 and 4 on the diagonal killing that cell. Wow. Okay, that'll do. 6 here. 6 is no coloured anymore. 2 is blue, is here. Now, what does that do? That makes one of these a 2. Unfortunately, that doesn't stop this being... Oh, it's made this a 5. That is the sort of thing I wanted to see. I've got a 1-2 pair there. This is now a 3-4-5 pair, with the central digit not being a 5. Okay, take it easy. Now, these don't have another 5 in because of killer rules, and then the other 5 in the column has to be here, which is therefore not... Is that right? Yes, it is. Which is therefore not red. This is red and is 1. That feels like a breakthrough. I don't know why. These don't have a 5 in. One of these does have a 5 in. Now, come on, let's keep going. These 2 add up to 10. And that's not a 2. Now, is that any use? It doesn't feel like it's going to be, but you never know. If that's a 4-6 pair, that's the 2. I don't know. 5s. 3, 4, 5. Oh my goodness. Oh, I thought I was there and I'm not there. Where am I? I got that 1. And I claimed it was going to help. It doesn't seem to help. Puts a 1 in one of those positions. Now, it was this one that couldn't be a 6 earlier. It's a 6 in this column. Well, it's still either there or here. I mean, that was intriguing about the 2s, but it doesn't clean up this cell. I've still got these 4s. They don't have to be the same. That, though... Oh, well, is there a relationship between all of these cells? Is there? I don't know. If this was a 4. Yeah, that doesn't work. If that's how simple it is. If this is a 4, one of those has to be a 4, and that pushes another 4 onto the same diagonal. So that is a 2. Right. It is relatively simple when you see it the right way. Until you do that, it just isn't. So That's still, well, it takes 2 out of these possibilities. It doesn't finish everything. Oh, these become 1, 3, 4. Now we've got to fit a 2 in somewhere around here. We're not finished. Oh, goodness. We've done the 4 around that. We've done the 2 around that. We've got no more quadruple clues left to use, as long as we obey the pencil marks. Now this diagonal, 1, 6, 2, 8, 9, 5, 3, 4 and 7 as a triple. That can't be used. The other diagonal, 8, 5, 9, 7. This hasn't really changed. Oh, this can't be a 4 anymore. That is 2 or 6. The 4 on this diagonal is in one of those 2 cells. That doesn't take 4 out of anything. This is 2 or 6. Is that useful? I don't see how. 9, 7, 6. One of these is a 4. 1, 3, 4, 7. 8, 9 around here. This is from 2, 5. Well, it can't be 6, so it is 2 or 5. What about off the diagonal? 7 off it, 7 off it, 7 on. I don't know, because I don't know what. I suppose 2 and 4 are off it there, but they could both be on it in this one, where I've got a pair of Barcelona and a pair of Norwich. Those are red and blue, not red and white. 5. Didn't think about 5 much. 5 could be there or anywhere around here. It's in one of those 2. 5, 1, 9. There's an 8 here. Not 7 here. So these are from 2, 3, 4 or 6. And that one can't be a 6. That's also from 2, 3, 4 or 6. I don't see how this is going to help me solve the puzzle. 7, 8, 5... The 1, 3, 4 set. There's a 3 in one of these. There's a 4 in one of these. Doesn't help. It really doesn't. I've got to keep coming back to this. Okay, if that was 6, 4, this would be 3, 2, and this would be 7, 8. I don't know what that does. Come on, there's a way through. There is a way through. Got this far, there must be a way through. 6 in the corner. Makes that a 6, makes one of these a 6. Now that puts 6 into this. Yeah, that's where it gets interesting, isn't it? Six in the corner makes this a 6-4 pair because that can't be 6 anymore. What does that mean for me? 6-4 pair there with that gives us a 2 here. Then there's a 1, 3 and that becomes 7. So 6 in the corner makes that a 7, which is entirely feasible because it makes that a 7 too, and that a 7. So again, I've got to find something that just doesn't work. Okay, so 2 in the corner makes that a 1. So 2 in the corner makes that a 2. How about that as a thesis? Then we get 2 in one of those positions, which I can't really rule on one way or the other. We get 2 in one of those. We've had 2 on the other diagonal already. So now 2 in column 7 would have to be here. I don't know. Oh, 7, this would be 7 and 3. I haven't really thought about that. If this has a 7 in it, it's 7 and 3, and that has to be a 4. Right, if this is 7 and 3, you get 3 there. Because of that 4 on the diagonal, that's a 3. A 4. No, hang on. 7 and 4. No, 7 and 3, which is what it would be, gives you a 4 there and makes that 3. So now I've got 3s in those positions and a 3 there. Three not on the diagonal at the top. So 3 in one of those cells, but I need a 3 on this other diagonal, which has to be here. Ooh, that's getting interesting. So my 3s would be disposed like that. There they would all be, if that's a 7-3 pair. And what happens, do I know what happens to 3s? If it's a 4-6 pair, that's a 2. Yeah, that's interesting. If it's a 4-6 pair, that's a 4. Neither of those can be a 4, and that's a 4. So if it's a 4-6 pair, that's a 4. So this one can't be the 4. These two are always the same. But I don't know what colour that is. Oh, bother. Those two are always the same. So these two add up to 10. Oh, that's a finding. Oh, well, I've got 6 there. I've done it. This has to be a 7, which was not what I was expecting. That's a 3, and I've worked out, let's just do this gradually. I was going to say casually, absolutely not casually. That's a 4. That is a 3 on the diagonal. That's a 7 in the corner. We get the last 7 there. This is a 6. That's a 9. We get 6 not in the corner, 2 there, 6 on the diagonal here. We can finish off 3 and 1. I feel like getting rid of all the colours and just doing this as Sudoku. That's a 1. That's a 3. I'm going to get rid of all the colours. I'm going to go crazy. Right. I think we're there now, and my goodness, I'm relieved if that's the case. That's become a 2. 4 there. This is a 1 to finish the column. That's a 5 now, thanks to all the work we did before. Got a 3-4 pair. That 3-4 pair gives us a 5 here. This is actually a 2-3-6 triple. I know where 3 goes in it, and the other 2 are a 2-6 pair. That fixes 1, 2. This is an 8-9 pair, which finishes off the quadruple clue completely. 4, 3, that's all worked. Right, 1, 2, 4 down here. I can just do those. Reducing it to Sudoku makes it such a relief. 8, 5, 3, that's a 2. That's going to fix 2, 6. This is a 4. That's a 6. This is an 8. That's the solution. Wow, I'm sorry. 21 have solved it in the last 2.5 months. That's how easy it is, Sayori. What a puzzle. It took me over the hour. I don't know how long the interruption was, to be honest, when my son needed to use the printer behind me, because the post office were very mean to him about a label. There we go. That is 789 by Sayori, and done in less than 78 minutes. I'll claim that. Thank you for watching. That was good fun. See you again on the channel soon. Bye for now.